Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the 13th Fleet After Action Report. We are very, very happy to have you with us. Also happy to have you with us is Admiral Tater's Ship Shop. If you are looking for the absolute best in Armada accessories, this is the place to go. And don't just think about Armada accessories. There are some other games that he does some things for. So, check out the website, see what he's got. We've been talking tabletop games leading into the show, so there are some things that you might want to check out to get some absolutely fantastic accessories for your games. So I hope you will enjoy that. As for what we've got going on this show, we're going to have some fun. We're going to look at some different topics than what we normally look at. We've also got, of course, Mid-Rim Mayhem coming up later on this week. I will have some... I'll have the recorded episode from last week up on YouTube soon. Apologize that I haven't had that up yet, but I've got a little bit busier than what I expected. So again, sorry for not having that ready here. But with that being said, let's go ahead and bring the crew on board. Hello, Garrett.
What's up, guys?
Hello, Ruben.
How you doing, y'all?
And hello, Nick. We don't have his audio yet. He kind of snuck in there just at the last moment.
Still nothing, Nick. Still nothing. He's trying. Still nothing. Check your audio input on the settings.
I'm giving it all she's got, Captain.
I can't take much more.
Anything
Oh,
there?
there he is.
Now
There
we
he is.
got you.
There he is.
Now we got you.
Mike was a little loose.
Well, thank you guys for joining me this evening.
And are we recording? Doing our on-air check.
We are on air. We have
All
mics
right.
on. We are recording.
We have power.
Everything is working until now that I say that, the work crews that are working on the internet in this area are going to kill my internet connection, and that'll be that.
Oh man.
So let's start off with where our current campaign stands right now.
It's a rough spot.
Yeah, yes, red dice go bang.
It's a rough spot.
I think it's great.
Of course, you're winning.
Holding on to Hut space. We got Mandalorian space locked down. Our periphery rim is firmly secure from the upstart so-called Empire. So we're doing great. We're at 26 points because we got a secret at the end of the last round. We've got, what, one more act of play and then the pivotal. So, but there's still a lot of points out there in player secrets and team secrets and the pivotal itself. So
No, it's done.
Listen, I'm worried about
is
it.
done.
I'm worried about the
hey,
Empire's
there's a
morale.
line.
We're with the Empire's morale. We got one more week and then the pivotal. So no, we went for a desperate attack on a base and it didn't work. So we're either going to be forced to do another desperate attack on a base because why not?
2 desperate attacks on base.
You can only do one per round.
Well, I'll allow it.
I can't buy a victory.
So yeah, it's been rough. We had some rough losses that kind of spiraled. Not being able to. I mean, I think this round has been a lot of trying to catch up after losing the second act pivotal. That just kind of put us so far down on points. This entire act has been just trying to make any kind of desperate move to score as much as we can, and we're not winning our games, so we're just not getting any points. So there's just not much we can do.
The second pivotal was definitely our climactic battle, like Operation Cobra or the False Little Gas or Chickamauga. There's a few different examples where that battle, our victory really determined and bent the outcome of the game very clearly in one direction. Because it was definitely we
were tied
tied up.
going into it. Yeah.
Yeah, we were tied up at the end of the first act because you guys won that pivotal, and then we had kept it fairly close up to that battle, and then that pivotal battle happened, and it's just been everything's just really leaned to one side after that.
Yeah.
I mean, it absolutely sucked that a critical that Garrett threw on me changed my command dial, and I couldn't repair. So,
Well, what was worse is, yeah.
I mean, the
'Cause we were
movement
playing
was
precision.
bad too because we just keep on butting heads and not going anywhere. And you had me double arced, and I couldn't get out of it.
Yeah. Well, we were playing Precision Strike, and I flipped that card up twice on you.
Yeah,
And so I changed your command and
Oh.
slowed you down. So that was rough. That was rough.
That's rough.
yeah. It just. I was doing well up until that point. I mean, I blew one of his hard cells out of the sky. But yeah, I knew I wasn't going to be able to do much to the municipal. I hate thermal shields. Especially in this setup to where I don't have any tools to really deal with it.
If you can't get 2 shots on me, nothing can happen to me
Yeah,
at all.
Yeah.
It's just impossible.
Yeah.
It's mathematically never going to happen.
It's like Jeff's whole fleet. He's lost like what, 1 game,
has he?
I think
One.
so to Joel. Maybe 2. I think he's lost 2 now.
maybe 2. And part of that's just because Master Engineering Providence with thermal shields. Like
Yeah.
at a 200
What are you
point
gonna do?
game, it's
Joel,
at 200
Joel
points.
took it down.
It's,
Especially,
Yeah, I
you
know.
know, and I think another piece of it that is problematic is the small map for this, because it honestly does present maneuvering challenges in order to get into position to do the things that you want to do.
You have to be very good at the knife fight arc measuring of the game, where you're in the brawl with somebody, to make sure that you're only in 1 or 2 enemy arcs, and that's really, really hard to learn on a 6x3. So going from your first activation, very start of the game, being in that mindset, it's very, very punishing. I think we've played a lot of this now, and I really think the 250 task force stuff is much more punishing than regular Armada, especially for new players, because the minute you play someone that has that technical skill of how to measure and see the distance and move the angle, you're just done.
Yeah, one maneuver mistake, and it's usually game over.
yeah, because
at the
you
beginning.
lose one. If you're especially like Chris and I both flying the large plus. Once you have a large ship and it's out of position, that's like your entire game. You don't have anything else to really fall back on because over half your points are put in that one ship.
And sadly, I don't fly very well anyway. So I mean, I tried at one point in time to do Rebel Smalls, and I'm just not good at it.
That's the hardest thing
hard.
in the game. In Armada,
Yeah.
right?
Rebel Small,
Flying Rebel
Rebel Smalls,
MSU.
yeah.
But that leads really well into, we're coming close to the end of the campaign, and there's been some talk about doing a sector fleet campaign and some of the ideas that were coming around for that. And since Ruben's kind of been taking the lead on all of the campaign stuff, you want to start us off with throwing out some of the ideas that we're toying with as far as sector fleet campaign?
Okay. So fleets start at 500 points. You can have up to 100 points of squadrons. Each ship can have up to 2 generic upgrades. You can have up to 2 larges. You can have up to 3 flotillas. Let's see here. I think that's all generic squadrons. That's the other one. So that's a carryover from the current rule set. The ace cap goes to 4. The final fleet size goes to 600. And the squadron cap goes to 150, which is a quarter of 600, which is the standard sector fleet rules. Nick and I played a test game with starting fleets. We played with the standard sector fleet rules, and the dust field's a little too strong. So we're going to try 2 debris fields instead of the 2 dust fields, because it gives enough stuff on the table so that these larger fleets have to interact with more obstacles. and lets the people that choose like Rift Ambush and abandoned mining facility and all that stuff to use the dust field as a special part of its your fleet construction. All the rest of the rules work. I've got it written in there where one Empire player can bring one huge ship. I haven't figured out how many points it's going to be per card on it because we've changed that to make it more normalized. So, I played Phoenix Squadron from Star Wars Rebel TV show. So it was a Pelta command, 4 Hammerheads, 2 Nebulon Bs, and a flotilla with 4 A-wings, 2 X-wings, 3 Y-wings. We got done in about 2.5 hours, right, Nick? Something like that.
Maybe a little under that. Yeah.
Maybe a little under that. Mostly because I played all the literally worst Rebel ships, and they just died and didn't do anything. So I don't know what will happen when you actually have something that will shoot back.
Yeah,
But,
you just can't play those ships. At the end of the day, like it just doesn't
I
work.
played them. You're not gonna fix. The worst part is you're not gonna fix them with points. Ain't gonna happen. Those ships are not gonna be good enough, even if they're 30 points, because they're not gonna do anything and they're going to die.
They only work if the enemy team also builds poorly, like they pick their worst stuff. It's the only way it works.
Absolutely.
I'll do a Raider MSU.
Yeah, and even that's better than a
Hammerhead MSU.
Sure. And Hammerheads, right? So because you're gonna blow all those up before they even get to your Raiders. So
4 Raider 2s with decaps.
But we had my hyperspace stuff out. The squad battle took about 2-3 rounds. It was really interesting and intense, and stuff just like the generics at that level just shred each other. So there's not a whole lot of the game getting bogged down in all this minute squadron activation.
Well, it's the aces. The aces are what keep that.
The aces are what do all that. So the generics just tear each other apart. But it's pretty cool because like the huge tie ball comes in, and the X-wings are like in the front covering the Y-wings, and it's just this dogfight, and everybody's getting blown up. And then the A-wings streak from behind the formation to shoot all the ties, and they all blow up. It's this huge furball. So if you've got that good imagination for the game, where you've like consumed a lot of Star Wars media, it feels so right. Like the size of the fleets feel like what are in books. How the squadrons interact with each other feels like all these dogfights that I've read and listened to. So it feels really good. Now, unfortunately, I played this fleet that definitely died in those 3 episodes of that show. So they definitely died on the tabletop. It happens, but it was like it felt so Star Wars that I'm pretty excited about Sector Fleet, and I think it might be the way to play this kind of thing because so many things.
I think so. I think the 400 points to 600 is where Armada works best. I think I'm just so bored of these little games. They're too constricting,
and they're very repetitive.
Yeah,
like we just play each other. We've done now going on our 9th week of playing each other with the same fleets, and it's just like, oh, I'm playing Ruben again. I know what he's gonna do, and it just kind of comes into.
There's only one way to maneuver on a 3x3, so can't really change anything. I was gonna say we're gonna give me flack for saying you can't fly those things. If you're gonna fly like a Nebulon, you gotta have like this super long-term plan on the campaign map of playing a green objective, getting the redemption title or the Yavaris title, and then doing a bunch of legwork to make that you get one ship, one model to do this one thing it's good at, right?
Yep. So, or I could take an MC-30 torpedo and just
that'd be good.
Great.
So
PRC-90.
So now doing Sector Fleet as a campaign, I know we've been starting off with only one upgrade for all the ships. Is that still the way to go?
It's gotta be
2 generic upgrades per ship.
Okay.
And it makes each ship very focused at the beginning on what its core job is. So the fleet that I'm probably going to fly, because I just love it, the MC-80 Command has fighter coordination teams and ECMs. The assault frigate has ECMs and flight controllers. The MC-30 has ordnance experts. The flotilla has bomber command center, and the other flotilla has munitions resupply. 2 naked CR-90s, MC-30 with ordnance experts, 4 A-wings, 2 Y-wings, 2 B-wings.
Yeah.
Now, I'm really experienced at the game, so I can rock out that fleet, and it's not going to take me that long to get through.
Well, that's a solid fleet, right? I mean, that's a competitive fleet. So,
and when you put that shit on the table, as if I had a what's the name of the destroyer, like Katana fleet and all that stuff. If I had a model of one of those ships, the
Dreadnought,
instead of the assault frigate, that shit would look right out of any Star Wars fleet media. Period. Like the only change I could make would be put a Nebulon B in there, but as we just discussed, Nebulon B sucked from flying. So, and if you did that, then it would look like peak Star Wars. So cool.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about my fleet too, because I didn't really go in with anything in mind. I kind of went, okay, let's build a pretty standard Imperial layout, just so we get an idea of what somebody could bring. But it's also pretty much like a straight competitive fleet. Flagship was an ISD-2 with ECMs, and you know me, heavy turbo laser turrets. It's my new favorite turbo laser. I brought a Victory 2 with decaps and heavy turbo lasers. And so I've got my ISD-2 with 4 red, 4 blue with, if you want to brace it, that's fine. You're not redirecting or evading or containing it. You're just getting hit with it. And then my Victory is going to throw 3 red, 3 blue at long. Same deal. And so I can just kind of, if I get both arcs in the same ship, it's a lot of damage just pumping into one hull zone. I brought a Quasar 1 with flight controllers and expanded hangars. So my Quasar banks a token early on, pushes 6 squadrons right at the gate. It's just, you don't need anything else for squadrons. Arc-10's light cruiser went ahead and gave it reinforced blast doors and dual turbo lasers. A Gazanti Bomber Command Center, a Gazanti Comms Net. The squad ball was a TIE Advanced, 2 TIE Interceptors, 3 TIE Fighters, 3 TIE Bombers, and I brought a Lambda shuttle. And so I brought like a little bit of everything of the generic Imperial ball, and it was perfect. And one reason we talk about the dust field is that I put a dust field kind of halfway, across the middle of the table, and I flew my Quasar right behind it, and then slowed down. And so his hammerheads were coming forward. I was like, I'm just going to ram and stay behind the dust fields. So the Quasar did not get shot until I turned forward. So it just sat there pushing flight controller TIE fighters even with medium range with my Lambda, pushing him basically at long range, where Ruben's squad ball was fighting over by the station. 3 TIE bombers were sitting in the corner behind my Quasar because all my interceptors were just dealing with the X-wings and the Y-wings. 3 TIE bombers and an Arc-10s killed a hammerhead in one turn and then a hammerhead the next turn.
Yeah.
It's so bad. It's so bad. Don't design a ship with a 1 shield side that doesn't have a redirect. What were you thinking? Like, look at the hard cell. Be like the hard cell.
It's so funny. But what's really funny, Ruben, though, is if they would have had redirects back in like 2015 to 2019, they would have been insane. The Rebels would have been even more insane than they were. It's really weird to think back. I know, but that's why. That's why it happened, right? Because everyone was flying right.
A decade ago.
That's when the ships were designed. So they have to have the defense tokens changed, and it would change how the ships work. That's the way it is.
So my biggest concern when we look at Sector Fleet for campaign is the pivotal battle. And do you think there should be any changes, or just roll with it as it is and just be prepared for an assload of time?
Well, we can't do 3 versus 3.
The pivotals are always going to be
no way.
You should either only play a 4v4 and an 8v8. So like 8 players or 4 players. So 2v2, 4v4. If you're playing a 4v4, every pivotal is only ever a 2v2. Don't do a 4. Do not try to play 2,400 points of Armada on one table.
Awesome. We'll get 2 6x3s.
It'd be amazing, but like I don't
awesome.
think people are ready for that.
Forever. The pivotals are the expanded setup area from the sector fleet rules. So it's distance 3 in from the sides, distance 3 up instead of distance 5. Still on a 6x3, and it's going to be 2 players versus 2 players. It's only ever one pivotal location. So just think of it as like 2 large engagements on each like pole of the planet, right?
Different parts of the system, yeah.
Yeah. So like you're attacking the goal and defense batteries at 2 different locations around Mon Calo or whatever.
Okay.
I don't know if it will be. My assumption is it'll probably be the same time commitment as the pivotals like they are now, because we don't have 3 people trying to make decisions about stuff. You've only got 2, but the fleets are larger. So I think there's going to be trade there, right? Because you get into a lot of the more people you have committed to trying to figure out an action, the more quibbling there is. Happens in every team board game.
Bottom line, we're going to have hundreds of points of squadrons. It's going to take
the maximum is 150 per player. So
so 300 on each side. 300
That's
each
a lot of squads.
300. Yeah.
That's going to be the time sink.
Yeah. You're looking at 18 to 20 squadrons per fleet, especially
Yeah. We'll have to be so mean about time and movement. Like you get like 20 seconds per squad.
I mean, I think most of those squadrons are going to fucking die so fast. Based on the experience that I had, they are going to die.
But by the time we get to the pivotal, we're going to have all sorts of tools.
Think of what happens when the Imperial squad ball with fighter group leader and swarm and flight controllers hits literally anything. It is going to die so fast.
Yeah, still gonna take time. Still gotta chew through them all. Because you also gotta activate all these squadrons too.
Yes.
Because if they're not getting activated, they're not going and killing anything. So.
Yeah, you can't be sitting there trying to quibble about a few millimeters of movement like you can in a 400-point game. Just throw the squads in, those stuff, get done.
I think our core group, we are all pretty. We play by intent. We play by kind of eyeballing it like that because we all have played enough with each other to be like, look, nobody's taking advantage of each other. We're not going to quibble over a millimeter.
That's a lie. You are all taking advantage of me every time I sit down at the table.
Oh man,
I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, I mean, we've said this before when we talked about Sector Fleet in the past. I think 600 points is like the premium Armada, like point value. I think if I could, I would only ever play 600 from now on. Like it's just the way to play the game.
Agreed. Yeah, so much more stuff you can do. That's my biggest thing. Is it makes the puzzles different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It rises up some of the more sucky commanders. Like I flew that Constantine fleet. It was really obnoxious.
Right.
And it worked at 600. Because you actually had enough ships to
you
pick
have
it
the
off
points to build killer ships and have quantity.
Yeah.
So you've heard it here first, folks. The 13th Fleet is going Sector Fleet all the time now.
I would do that.
I mean,
the only downside is if you ever want to go to outside event and they do 400 points, then you got to scale back.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Get all my rebel buffing aces so I can have Nora.
So we just need we need to organize the 13th Fleet Open, which is a Sector Fleet tournament, and
we really should schedule something like that. Actually,
I'm good with it. I am.
We should. Because Louisville and Ohio,
we may want
they do most of the work scheduling.
They do a lot. I know they always have something going on.
We may probably want a different location just because I think if we're doing Sector Fleet, I'm not so sure where we normally play has enough space. But
well, it's the same board, but
yeah,
it's hard to fit.
I guess we can look into it.
Sure.
I've been wanting to organize an event for a while. I just, I don't have really the know-how, so I need to start asking you guys to help me figure that out.
Oh, yeah, we just kind of got to do it.
Yeah.
It's not too hard.
Yeah,
we just got to ask Chaotic what their schedule looks like. And they're pretty good at scheduling us. We'll probably have to take like a Sunday, right? Because we're like a low priority game.
Yeah.
With our non-existent products.
You never see it. We don't see Armada on the shelves.
Well, there's a good reason.
Well,
there must be product to put on the shelves.
But yeah. So, anyways, Sector Fleet, Building the Rim. What else do we want to talk about?
Well, I mean, what do you think would be the way to go to build for a Sector Fleet in the campaign setting? I know we've kind of heard the opening thoughts with Ruben and Nick. What do you think, Garrett?
So the rule is, correct me if I'm wrong, Ruben. We're saying we're going to cap. You can only pick. Did you say 100 squadrons at the very beginning? I think that's very important.
Only generics.
Yeah, and I would go even lower myself, and that's because on the map, when you win at a squadron battle, you get to recruit like 20 to 30 points of squadrons. That's a lot of points. So if I build my whole fleet up with squadrons at the beginning, it's harder to justify upgrades of these planets. And the other thing we talked about is because we're playing Sector Fleet and have so many ships, if we win at a planet or lose, because the way we do it, you get both upgrade slots from that planet. So if it's officer... or two the same. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So
just to make sure that
you always get two
turbo lasers. Yeah. Every ship's got one. Yep.
And that's just to make it, work, right? So, now as far as building, right? Because you only get generics, you need to pick out a balance of escorts and bombers, and then swarm fighters, right?
Also note, I didn't mention it. It's generic, non-irregular squadrons for your faction, except the Lambda.
Yeah. Yeah. So as the Empire,
the Rebels, A's, Y's, X's.
I think it would be super dumb not to bring a Lambda, because a Lambda makes it so you can move around all these green objective tokens all over the place and just ruin the first player's day.
Hey, welcome to the show, Dark Horse.
What's up, man?
Hey.
So, anyways, but back to what I was saying, right? Just a generic build of generic squadrons, right? TIE Advanced, one Lambda. I would only bring TIE Interceptors myself because they're just stupid. And then
they're so efficient.
And because you can't bring, I would dump my points in TIE Defenders, over TIE Bombers, because TIE Bombers are total. TIE Bombers totally trash.
But I think we're doing the prototype.
Yep. Oh, we're doing that even in the New Republic era. Oh,
well,
I don't know.
It's not New Republic era. It's Galactic Civil War.
We're just doing GCW.
We're not doing New Republic.
If
Empire?
I was gonna do New Republic era, then I'd have to figure out, like, I have tentative plans of how to do the Starhawk and make it like a cool ship that you could take.
Yeah.
But we've also just not played Civil War since literally the very beginning of this.
If you can't bring TIE Defenders, I'm not bringing any TIE Bomber. They're total trash.
Just all interceptors all day.
They're completely worthless. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Bomber Command Center makes them reliable.
Nah, they're so bad. I was able to shoot them all down. It's so easy. They just sit there and die. They suck. But listen, especially if I have like 5 or 6 A-wings or X-wings, what are you gonna shoot me? You're one black die. Okay.
Hey, I have flight controllers.
Oh, black and blue dye. My bad.
Black and
Your
blue.
X-wings are dead to the TIE Interceptor.
Now they're dangerous.
But anyways, after that, I'm dumping all my points into Imperial Star Destroyers and Gazantes. I'm not wasting my time with. I'm not bringing anything else. I'm not bringing anything else. Right? If you're not bringing 2 ISDs, what are you doing? In my opinion,
You mean it's not worth bringing a Quasar?
you can bring Quasar
Okay.
because you have to. Because you're gonna have to break up points. You can only bring 2 ISDs, so you can bring Quasar.
2 ISDs, 3 Gazantes, Interdictor. To get
Yeah.
Angry Triangle, go bird.
That's what I would do.
Every fleet's gonna be 2 ISD2s.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's like how you do it. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And
we're
the
gonna
rebels,
die.
the
I
rebels
really-
need to
we're
have
gonna die.
MC80s with Exodus fleet on them, and a Pelta.
Onager not worth bringing?
Are we gonna allow onagers? I didn't even think about
No.
that. I don't
If
think about
it's-
that ship existing.
I would say for sector fleet, I don't think it's as bad. Definitely at 200 points, you cannot do that.
If you allow
It's
onagers,
Just
the
not
game's
been
over.
anywhere.
Give me one test bed and it's game over. It's gonna
It's
blow
the
up all
same
the
reason
rebels.
as I didn't put the MC30 in for the CIS. It's just not like real, to be frank. It's not a real thing. Even the
Right.
Starhawk is like, is this really like a thing? Like,
Yeah,
I'll do
like-
the torpedo for the rebels, even though it's just only from Armada.
The
It's not
Starhawk's
really
weird to me
real
too,
either.
because even in Disney lore, it only existed for the Battle of Jakku, and then they scrapped them all. So
Why?
Why
would you
I don't
build
care.
something like that and then have a
because
Battleship,
post
and get rid of it.
indoor
They had-
Disney lore is really bad,
They had 3.
and they're
They
all
had
gone.
3 of them.
All gone.
Hey man, hey, Star Wars Squadrons was a fun game.
Oh, that was the prototype. You can't count that.
Oh, yeah.
Not even a real
fair.
Starhawk.
Not
Not even a real Starhawk.
Yeah, I guess. That's always assumed. I was like, yeah, it's the first like.
I picked
Yeah,
that
it's a
up for
prototype,
cheap
right?
on
They're
Steam.
developing
I really need
the
to play
Starhawk.
it.
It also looked like cardboard polygons.
Oh, you're
It
just
looked
being
awful.
nitpicky. You're just being
No,
nitpicky now.
it looked bad. The real Starhawk looks good. I'll give them that. It's a good looking ship.
So
But
Arc
whatever.
10s are not worth bringing?
I wouldn't Sector Fleet. No.
I mean, Garrett
You
likes
don't
it
have to.
heavy.
You
I
don't
play
have to.
more of a mixed style personally in Sector Fleet. I wouldn't be doing what I typically if I was playing 600 points, like 600 points, upgrades, unlimited stuff. I would run a Pelta Assault just for intensify firepower with all those red dice. It's extremely efficient for rebels in the format, but in this format, when I'd have to go either open with a base that had the fleet support or the fleet command on it, or go there and fight, I don't think I'm bringing a Pelta because it just ain't gonna cut it in hell. So like, I'll just fix my dice some other way, probably with commander abilities.
Yeah, I think my Guido is the only fleet command.
Yeah.
I think there is only one. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, there's only one.
But as a
What
Rebel player,
is-
I'm building Rebel Larges. MSU is great, but I'm building Rebel Large.
Because you want to fly. Well, and that's
You have the points. You have the points to sink into them. You know what I mean? See, the problem with Rebel Larges and 400 points is you don't have enough points for 2. And so you have got 1 that's by itself. But when you put 2 larges together and have the stuff to support them, all of a sudden they're great.
Mhm.
Right?
And you have enough stuff for like a solid rebel large, and an assault frigate, and 3 smalls, and the floats, and the squads to back it up, and it's this really like
Right.
rebel-looking combined arms force. That's what I really like. 600 level.
Right.
Are interdictors worth bringing?
For Empire,
Yes.
yeah, always. Yeah.
Yeah,
yes.
I think so. The projection experts is really good. We haven't been
Targets,
able to get their
Ramblers.
map ability to work in Rebellion in the Rim, but maybe at this level, when it's not just, you have your fleet's literally just an interdictor with a other small and a float and like 2 TIE fighters or something where it can't really shoot anything. Now you have like an interdictor and an ISD and a victory and like the whole package, right? So that fleet's going to be much more dangerous.
I still
I
stand
think-
by my first fleet.
I think we should allow Starhawks because there's no agate.
Why not?
Starhawks aren't a threat when agate's not on the ship.
I mean,
they die all the time.
I can't see myself playing a Starhawk. It doesn't go.
I can't either. But what I'm saying is like, how is
No
it
reason
any
to
more
make it-
dangerous than anything else, right?
Yeah, it's 1.5 ISDs, right?
Basically, I might try it.
Points wise, yeah.
Yep.
Once you're done building.
I'm also planning to give it a rule if I put it in where the interdictor puts out a bubble of all ships can't hyperspace away around it, and because of how the Starhawk was designed, I'm going to give it the ability to pick a ship that can't, and that ship at the start of each round can't hyperspace out as long as it's within 5 of the Starhawk for its Magnites, and then
Are we gonna
you
do
can
that
upgrade
if it has to have Magnites?
Well, then you can upgrade it
you'd
to
have
have
to.
the Magnite tractor beams, and then it will slow ships down too around it.
Okay.
Because then that would give Rebels something to do with the super weapon slot too, technically.
Yeah.
And gladiators?
But I don't know.
Yeah, bring
Gladiators are good. Gladiators are
Demo's
good.
always good.
Yeah, and even if somebody gets demo, having a Gladiator 1 or even a Gladiator 2, they're still a good ship because they're a tanky little small that punches a little bit above its weight class. You know, like it's a good support ship to have, and you can put projection experts on it. And
I have enjoyed that greatly in the new fleet that I've put together there.
Because I love flying Gladiator alongside an ISD, even if it's not demo, because like an ISD requires like consistent firepower to bring it down. So your Gladiator's putting its nose out there, and it's like, are you shooting my Gladiator? Because if you're not shooting my ISD this turn, I'm regenerating 3 shields, and you're not going to kill it.
Right.
And so the Gladiator can kind of just fly in without really getting any fire coming in.
Well, and then the 7th fleet on the 7th fleet on that made it even better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you saved a ton of damage versus me with that.
Oh yeah.
Right? Yep. You would have died, like quite frankly, for sure. But because you had 7th fleet and EST, right?
Yeah,
that's 2 damage you were reducing. But yeah, no, because you can't Christmas tree your ships at the beginning of this campaign. You just have a ton of extra points for just like willy-nilly ships. Because larges are 100 points, 110 points, 120 points. And you got 450 points to play with. So once you spend 300 points on larges and squadrons, you still have like 2 or 3 or 4 more ships, or 5 or 6 more ships you can take.
200
points. Like 20 points.
It's all about how many. If you take off, like, are you gonna put the 2 upgrades? Because like I look at a small ship in this format and I go, you're gonna get either nothing, or you're gonna get like the one thing that you need. MC30, Ordnance Experts, CR90s. They can take a Confire token and just dig in from the side at that ISD's flank while the Home One and Assault Frigate are toilet bowling around and the squads are blowing each other up. So they don't really need TRCs, right? I don't know how you would do Rebel MSU at this fleet size in this format, because frankly, I think that there's only one not viable Imperial ship, and that's the Raider. And even it's seen competitive play at day 2 level of Worlds.
I think the Raider could work. One Raider works. My
second point is that I think there's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 whole ships of the Rebel. You know, I'm looking at all my ships here in the game room.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I was going to say
you can't play them. You can't play any of them. You can't play hard cells. Well, you can't play hammerheads. You can't play Nebulon Bs. You can't play the Pelton. They're unplayable. Doesn't matter if it's 600 points. Doesn't matter if it's 400 points. They're garbage ships that have sat on my shelf and done nothing but gained dust. So I don't know how I would play an MSU fleet at 500 points, because if I have to get different upgrades from places and I'm not guaranteed what I'm going to get from where, I need to build a fleet that's diverse in its upgrades so it can go fight different places that'll actually be competent on the table when King Kong over here brings his 2 ISDs and 3 Kazantes and his full squad ball. And the only rebel fleet I could bring would be literally nothing but CR-98s. And
I got one thing
against that.
Right? Defensive retrofit and a way to make hackers. That's the first 2 upgrades I bring, right? H9s and defensive retrofits. That way I can make sure I blow up everybody's little MSU fleets.
Yeah. And I like Nick, he's like the XX9s. I think you go XI7s in sector fleet and you say those redirects and stuff, you're not doing those. I'm shooting you right there, drill baby drill. And that's my style for these larger. Like how do you which token, defense token, do you try to mitigate? Because every single large ship is going to have ECMs on it, and they're going to be able to get engineering tokens. Your H9s ain't going to do anything. So if I'm a Rebel player, I know I'm fighting nothing but big triangles, because every Imperial player I know loves big triangles, and they'll play as many big triangles as they can get their little mitts on.
Well, that's because I'm talking about, I was building Imperial fleet to kill Rebels, right?
Yeah.
Rebels using XI7s versus Empire is what you should do.
Yeah.
XI7 is the CR90 killer.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I don't really think I don't think you'll see really anything other than maybe 1 or 2 CR90s in anybody's given fleet, because the rest, the torpedo CR98s, that's about it. You're not going to see hammerheads. You're not going to see nebulons. You're not going to see Bell.
I'm going to fly 4 victories.
I'm
4 victories.
also a little leery on the Liberty, because I was tabulating up all the stats on all the shields and hull of all the larges in the game to get to the new point values for each card from each ship size. And the Liberty, it's under shielded. It needs to be 2 shields in each side for it to be in line with all the Clone Wars stuff, with how what their defensive stuff.
Isn't it 5-2-2?
It needs to be, it's 5-2-2-2. It needs to be 3 on each side. So then its shield values, its total shield amount, and its hull amount would be in line with the Venator 2 and the Recusant.
I think Liberties are hard in Sector Fleet because they require a Christmas tree to make work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think Pickles and 75s are the much better larges here. And obviously the Rebel Prop is always good.
Yep.
But Pickles are real good at this level.
Yeah. I wish that the home one wouldn't be limited to only your fleet. Because
the other ships, instead of itself.
So all the Rebel ships around it would get it. But that's a good build. You go MC75, you go MC80 Assault, you try to get home one, and then you're given that MC75 and whatever CR90s and whatever else you bring, a bunch of accuracies. I feel like every fleet will need 100 points of squads minimum, though. And maybe you don't go for more. You at least have 100 generics.
So everyone needs squadrons. Everyone needs squadrons at this level. Otherwise, somebody with 100 points of bombers is just going
to... Because that Rebel squad, any Rebel squad ball, if you don't bring any squads, it is going to bomb the crap out of you.
And you say there are no irregulars, so nothing like none of the bounty hunter stuff.
Correct.
Yeah. So the way that you'll be getting bounty hunters is if you play a green objective at a squadron place, you can get a unique of a type that's an irregular one. And if you're playing hired scum, you can get a generic one if it lives. So you hire a bunch of generic bounty hunters to help you fight in this battle. If one of them lives and you win, you can then permanently recruit that guy to your fleet. So you could get a generic Hawk or a generic Jumpmaster, YV666.
The YT-1300?
1300, yeah.
Yep.
Or the
Aggressor.
The Aggressor. We're doing it.
You could get a VCX in that Rebels might need to think about that one if it gets too prevalent.
I think they long term need a VCX, right? That has to be a priority for somebody because you need to be able to win some green objectives with it.
One person on the fleet plays hired scum, and then you recruit a VCX if it lives. And there's 4 hired scums, so there's 4 chances to get one. And you're probably going to have one of your players have that as their secret objective because it's the one that you had the most chances at. Now that we've played a campaign, so now I'm like thinking about the strategy of how you do the secret objectives for the player secrets, because who do you have pick which secret objectives based on kind of their skill level and what they want to do. The team secrets, they're interesting. They're hard. I think Nick and I are going to talk a whole bunch once we get done with this about how that impacted the game, because I think it's been positive. It's been very different than what we've played in the past. Now that there's other ways to get points.
There's one. Yeah, speaking of points, that's one thing that I think we had a discussion at the end of the last session there, as far as points for ships and damage taken. And while this is not directly related to the whole sector fleet discussion, it is related to the campaign discussion. And I just want to hear your thoughts on how you guys feel that this is working. Is it not working? Does it need to be tweaked?
I don't think for sector fleet we need the points for damage cards.
I think we do.
I think it was the only problem because of the 200 points.
The largest of
the
200.
reason we need it is that I want more interesting tactical decisions to be made with the rule that's been made with the hyperspace, where you can retreat. Because if there's not like an incremental nature to it, that rule that I find really thematic and core to kind of the idea of Star Wars fleet battles doesn't get used because nobody cares.
It doesn't get used because your opponent still gets the points for your whole ship.
Currently, they do not. They wrote it that way, and then I made these rules so that it was only per card damage to the ship, and then when it hyperspace out, it doesn't count as destroyed. So you still only get the cards assigned to it. So that it would all link.
I was unaware.
Yeah, so like all those rules linked together to make the strategy and the decision meaningful.
I thought if you hyperspace, I am.
I thought the hyperspace out was just to prevent more damage to the ship or keep it from getting destroyed. Yeah,
it was originally designed so that you could hyperspace out, and you would count as destroyed for determining the victor, but you wouldn't be scarred.
Right.
That's how it was originally written.
But repairing ships doesn't matter. It's so easy to repair ships. So
yeah,
I thought
that's the original rules.
I thought the opponent got your full points.
Now, when we were doing it before I wrote all the like card point stuff, you still counted as destroyed. But when I figured out this whole card point system, I had to reevaluate the hyperspacing, because if you're giving up points for each damage card on the ship, the hyperspacing is absolutely redundant because all you do is just lose more. It's not a tactic you will use to mitigate your loss or mitigate a bad position. So I said, okay, well, how do we fix this? We fix it by going, well, when you hyperspace out, you don't count as destroyed. So if you're in a bad position with the ship and it's got damage cards on it, you can then escape with it. You'll still give up the points you've currently given up, but you don't risk your ship being totally destroyed and you giving up the full value of the ship as an actual tactical decision in the moment with these different sections of rules working together. Because you're also considering, will I get scarred? Right?
Well, that all makes sense.
Scarring and points and the hyperspace.
I agree. That's how it should be. I just thought it wasn't.
Yeah, but I'm explaining the game design stuff because there's been a long journey because I looked at hyperspace originally, like in the original rules, and I was like, man, this is such a cool thing. This is so Star Wars.
But there's no reason to use it because
but
it's you just lose.
There's absolutely none, zero reason to use it, and it's been a long journey of like incrementing on rules and like thinking about how do we hang other stuff all off of these other rules so that I talk a lot about rules synthesis, rules synergy, right? How do you get things to work together and have a whole system that's cohesive? And it's taken a long time, but it's finally getting there.
Interesting. All right. Yeah, I totally missed that. Nick, am I alone here? Did I miss that completely?
Ruben and I talked about it on Sunday, but I was under the same impression. I just think maybe we didn't really discuss it
either.
Because I told everybody not to hyperspace because they would just lose all the points. I was like, nah, Joel, there's no point.
I did it in our first game, Nick, of this campaign, and you went, what? And I said, yeah, it's.
Yeah, but that was months ago.
Yeah,
it was hard, yo.
Yeah, like. I mean,
because I've been under the impression all the time, like, what's the point of hyperspacing? This is dumb. I'm never going to do this.
Yeah.
Because unless my team didn't have any repair points or something.
But this is an excellent example of why I'm really concerned about the overall length of the rules. Like I looked at it when I was writing on the final release version. It's 36 pages. Like people
there's a lot of work.
Board gamers and what would be like, oh yeah, 36 pages. I play Great Western Trail. It's fine. And I go, whoa. No. You guys don't understand how many questions I get about this stuff. And we've been playing this stuff a lot, consistently. So there's a lot of rules.
I gotta say, this is huge. I want
to throw out one.
So many battles would have been done differently.
I want to throw out one thought as far as the points per damage card is concerned, and a change that I feel like needs to be made is just a consistent number of points based on the ship's size rather than the whole points of the ship. So like all larges should be this many points per card. All small should be this many points per card.
Mm-hmm. And that's what it's going to be in release. So smalls are 4 points, mediums are 7 points, larges are 9 points.
Okay.
And I totaled up. I totaled up all the whole values of all of the ships in the game. And
an average.
The ISD counted 4 times, Nick, and then I averaged it out, and that's what it got to. And I rounded a little bit because it makes a nice scaling curve. Because like I said, you're right. When you write a rule and you check each ship type, now we're getting you have to remember on top of all the rules, when you're counting the cards, you look at it and you go, oh, my ISD is 11 points. Oh, this the friggin' MC75, that's 9 points per card. Now you have to do all this extra thinking that's outside of all this other shit that you have to do, because you have to mark your squads, mark all your stuff as guard, count all the points from the objectives, right? Objective token, count all the points from your squads that died, and then you've got to look at whatever your ship's whole value is, count the cards on it, do multiplication, and then add all that shit together. So yeah, it's a good system. When it's just set as 4, 7, 9, it makes one less little decision math thing that you have to do in the game. So it's a good change.
Yeah, I think
it should work fine.
I think especially with Sector Fleet, if you want to do it in Sector Fleet, it's going to be oh well, now I've got 5 or 6 ships. I can just pile my damage cards into piles and be these are my large damage, this is my medium damage, my small damage, and just count it that way.
Great idea. I haven't figured out how many points a card on a Superstar Destroyer is going to be. I don't know yet.
Judging by the way you did the other one, it would be 22.
It's 20 or something, right?
Oh yeah, that does not work. Or if they fly in the Executor, does not work.
Because I don't think
one damage card's 33 points. Yeah, I wouldn't even fly a Super if you were going to.
It'd be the average of all 4. Let's be clear here. It'd be the average of all 4.
Okay, so 26.
It'd still be 2 cards on an Executor would be a CR90, which probably right. So I don't
No,
know where it's gonna
you
go.
can just ram it. I would just ram it.
Damn the crap.
Hard bulkheads.
You can't
Yep.
use
Oh,
those. It's large ship
you can't.
only.
It's large ship only. It was so stupid.
You gotta
Well-
bring like Eclipse or something.
This has been a fun show. So I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight and talking about Sector Fleet and campaigns. Hopefully we'll get started on a Sector Fleet campaign and be able to tell everybody how it's really working out. Because, a lot of this is experimentation. We're having fun with the experimentation.
Listen, my world is shattered over this hyperspace thing.
I wouldn't have played it.
Do I need to go find the? I need to go reach out to the guy.
I didn't know hyperspace changed. I didn't know. I would have told Joel
I even made
how to
patch
fly
notes
different.
and a change log.
I would have been like,
tried
all
my
right, Joel, it's
best to
time
be
for you
like
to
a good
leave.
boy designer.
It's time for you to leave, Joel, with your 1 damage card and not die.
I'm trying to be the goodest boy designer I could be.
Oh my gosh. I'm shattered. I feel like all the results for the campaign are bad now.
Well, good night, guys. Thank you for joining me.
Thanks
and
for
I will
having
see you
Bye.
Thursday.
See you guys.
Take care, y'all.
All right, so thanks for joining us for the show. Really appreciate the time. We are looking forward to trying Sector Fleet with the campaign setting. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to try it out. I have not done a lot of Sector Fleet, so it's going to be interesting to see how I can negotiate that. On top of that, we do, like I said, have Midrim Mayhem coming up on Thursday. We also should hopefully tomorrow have last week's Midrim Mayhem up on YouTube, so look for that. Gonna have some more SWTOR content coming up, so keep an eye out. I'm doing a few more impromptu streams on SWTOR, so if you like that, then join us for it. Anyway, with that, I will say good night. I hope you guys have a great day.